wanna love for you and do it. You a bubble it, and you know say that me see it. You will trouble it, so put it on repeat, my girl. Are you when me need number one? Girl, you are the hottest thing around here. One thing me want you know me well prepared. Give me the thing, girl, and make me shift it in gear. She pull me close up and give me the stare. She whisper in my ear.
How deep is your love?
You should know.
How deep does it go? How deep is your love?
I'm gonna show you.
Let's explore.
Playtime.
How deep is your love?
Girl.
How deep does it go? 'Cause mine run down to the ocean floor.
Well, woman, are you when me wild? So just give me the, got me dancing a flock. Girl, your body this image, you make me feel so high, my girl. You make me walk in time, my world. And girl, you're not fast, make me reveal. But once when you make it know the Ferris wheel. You are the magnet, I am the steel. Strong connection, me know you feel it. So make me seal it.
How deep is your love?
Make me show
How
you.
deep does it go? How deep is your love? Let's explore. How deep is your love? How deep does it go? 'Cause mine run down to the ocean floor. I don't wanna be a home girl.
Girl, you are top
I
girl.
don't wanna be a cool friend.
It's a rap
I
girl.
don't wanna be the chick that you call in the middle of the night to show you better way.
Round the clock,
I
girl.
don't wanna be a girlfriend.
Girl, you are top
I
girl.
don't wanna be a best friend.
It's a rap
I
girl.
don't wanna ever love you, 'cause boy I love you. How do you feel about me? Tell me.
Caught up from the start, girl.
How deep is your love?
Make me
How
show
deep
you.
does it go? How deep is your love? Let's explore.
Got to know.
How deep is your love? How deep does it go? Mine run down to the ocean floor. How deep is your love? How deep does it go? How deep is your love? Let's explore.
Got to know.
How deep is your love? How deep does it go? Mine run down to the ocean floor. Let's explore. How deep is your love? How deep does it go? 'Cause mine run down to the ocean floor. I don't wanna be a home girl.
Girl, you are top
I
girl.
don't wanna be a cool friend.
It's a rap
I
girl.
don't wanna be the chick that